Isaac being a guy that's known for defense and also someone that has had teams taken away from him when it comes to playing him on the three-point line, how good can this team be when Isaac is hitting those threes consistently and also playing defense the way that he does?
Yeah, Ice has been consistent three-point shooter really since I got here. He doesn't get a lot of credit for it because I think in the past he didn't take a lot of them. But I think he shot 40 last year. He was high 30s the year before that. So he's very reliable from there. We expect him to make those shots, and he's been pretty consistent with it. Obviously, we know what type of defender he is as well, so he's a huge part of our team.
But because teams have sagged off him in the past, with him being able to make more and take more confidently and reliably, how is that different than it has been in the past? Because I know in the regular season he shot 40, but in the playoffs he was like 25 to 30%.
Yeah, I think honestly he's been that type of shooter. I think for Isaac, it's more ball movement.
My fault. Oh shit!
I think
I didn't know we were doing that today.
I think the ball movement kind of helps.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know we were doing that.
I think
Hang low. Follow to the floor.
yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
So speaking of Darius, he's had 29 points in a couple of games now. He's got back to the joy that he's played with in previous seasons. Coming off the year that he had last year, how exciting is it to play with a guy who's back to himself and also to an all-star level?
Yeah, he's healthy. He wasn't healthy last year. I think people kind of underestimate what that does to a person, especially the type of injury that he had. You know, he wasn't eating for a few weeks, so I can only imagine how miserable that was for him. But we all know what type of player Darius is, and when he's playing the way he is now, pretty tough to beat.
Caris, the spacing that you guys play with, the cutting you guys are doing, just how much is that with what Kenny's put in there offensively for you guys? How much has that really unlocked the offensive potential of this group?
Yeah, we got a lot of guys who can do a lot of things. So when the floor is spaced the way it is, it's, you know, you got to kind of pick your poison. Nights, I think Ice hit 4 or 5 threes a night. Darius hit like 6 threes. Another night, Donald hit like 6 threes. Just, you got to pick your poison and hope all of us are off at one time. But we got so many weapons, it's tough to kind of pick and choose.
Kind of jumping off of that, I was just talking to Evan about that, just the baseline usage, cutting from the slot and all that. Can that be as effective as spacing in this league?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to do both. I think you have to have a feel on when to cut and when to space, and I think we're doing it at a pretty high level right now.
And then I just have one more question. The halftime, you're up by 40. Mm-hmm. How do you handle that emotion coming out of the locker room, like playing with that kind of lead? That has to be hard.
Yeah, I think we definitely wanted to play better in the second half today. But like you said, it's really tough to be up 40 at home, play as well as we did. It's hard to kind of do that again in the second half, but it's just something that we have to be better at.
Ty's been kind of a calming force off the bench along with you and Sam, and trying to implement him in different situations where it feels a little chaotic. His calming nature, his passing ability, how Kenny described it as he's a quarterback for the offense. How has he been able to implement and help this offense, especially when things are going haywire?
Yeah, well, Ty's a vet, you know. He's been around the league for a while. I think his dad is a coach. He's a coach's son. He's been around basketball his whole life, so he has a really high basketball IQ. He has a great feel for the game, so he kind of knows what the game needs. And he does a great job of just implementing that. Like today, obviously it was a shooting, but another game he might have 5 straight assists. He might have 3 straight steals. He kind of just does what the game needs.